How do you balance everything? Like, is this the life that you always imagined? Were you always in ministry? Were you always in the church growing up? How was it for you growing up in Alabama?
Yeah, this all I've ever wanted to do, man. Like I know people grow up and they say, man, I want to go to the NBA, the WNBA. I
Yeah.
want to go to the NFL. I was that little kid on the front row mimicking preachers. I'm the kid who, when you went to Sunday school, they were like, he get on my nerves thinking he can sing all the songs and do everything. This all I ever wanted to do was love God, love people, and make a difference. And people always ask me, like, how you balance it?
Yeah.
For me, it's orbit over order.
Mm.
So people told me that my life should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
God, family, church, music. But for me, that's not realistic. So the same way the solar system revolves around the sun, my life revolves around the son. It orbits. So
Mm.
there are times like after the award show this year, we won Stellar Awards. I took 9 weeks off of church because in the orbit of my life, it was a big season for my boys. My oldest son's getting ready to go to college. I wanted to shut my life down and I wanted my kids to see they came absolutely first.
I love
So
that.
in the orbit of my life, family took the top precedent.
Yeah.
But there have been times when we've been on family vacation and somebody passed and pastor had to take precedent.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't stress like I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do that. I
Okay.
just allow my life to flow and I feel like I'm in a good rhythm right now.
I like that. Do you ever feel like you're not giving enough to certain things? Because I feel like you said, it is a balance where you have to balance all these different things like everybody else in the world. But like, do you ever feel like you're not giving enough to certain things?
I used to feel I know people always talk about survivor's remorse.
Yes.
I
Yes.
used to feel like that sometimes. Like I never forget. I had to perform one time on the West Coast, and instead of just resting, I didn't want my church to feel like I was putting music over preaching.
Mm.
So we got on a red eye. We was in the airport. Ended up having to sleep in the airport just to get to
Really?
church. And my head was like, you know what? I can't please everybody all the time. So now I try my best to give everything that matters what it needs. And I try to be open and honest with the people in my life. Like I told my son yesterday, he had a bowling match. He bowls varsity. And I was like, hey, dad, not going to make this one, but I'm going to make the next one. And I try to explain to him what's happening and what's going on. So I kind of grew out of feeling like everybody has to get everything at every moment.
Yeah. How do you deal with being in ministry with, I guess you give so much to everybody else and just being able to
Mhm.
take time to yourself. So do you have like a mentor or somebody that talks to you when it comes to like ministry, or it's like a
Yeah.
lot of self-talk and you're kind of pouring it more into yourself all the time?
No, I think you need covering. You know what I'm saying, man? I think there are two circles you should be in your life. One that you pour into and one that pours into you.
Mm.
And sadly, Angel, you know this, man. So many people, you get to a point in your life and it happens quick. You go from being in college and everybody friends to making it and everybody happy. Then out of nowhere, you wake up one day and you're the lifeline for everybody in
Yeah.
your life.
Yeah.
So for me, between my father and my pastor, Dr. Ari Vernon, that's kind of my safe place. So wait, hey, let me slow down a little bit. I won Artist of the Year, Gospel Music Artist of the Year,
Yes.
and the first place I went was to my pastor's house.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, before all this go to my head, before I start thinking I'm the Chris Brown of gospel, before I start feeling cute, let me go ground myself
Yes.
so I can be what God need me to be. And it's difficult. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's the dark side that nobody talks about because so many people are ready to get to the level that they see people on.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know the loneliness attached to success
Yeah.
or the trauma attached to making it to this height. And now you're having to carry so much and having to pour while empty. So I think I try my best to do a good job of putting myself of diagnosing myself and saying, hey, you slipping. Because we all have signs, right?
Yeah.
You know how it is. You get focused, you do something. My sign is Taco Bell. Like once I hit Taco Bell 3 or 4 times and hey, that late night menu and that cheesy gordita crunch called me 3 times, like slow down, slow
Yes.
down, slow down.
That's that's so funny. Do you feel like ministry is like your therapy when you talk to your dad and you talk to your pastor? Do you feel like that's your form of therapy? Because I feel like when I listen to you on Sundays or even when I see your videos on social media and stuff, like that's my therapy. Like when I hear and I see and I can align with like the things that you're saying and how they can relate to my life. Like you don't know me, I don't know you. We've never met before, but it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
well, me and my best friend watch you every Sunday. So and we like
Oh
send each other
wow.
notes back and forth. Like she sent me some questions to ask you, um, so we can like actually have a conversation. But like Do you feel like this is like your form of therapy, and like a healthy form of therapy for people?
Yeah, I do. I think I taught one Sunday about coping mechanisms.
Mm.
But for me, when you say therapy, I think about being therapeutic and what's therapeutic for me. For me, preaching is a form of, I don't want to say preaching, inspiring people in a sense and helping people see God. And it's almost like when you teach it and that light bulb come on.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody told me the other day, they was like, man, you give language to all my pain
Yeah.
or language to my joy. It's like I be feeling something and don't know how to express it. And you say it and I'd be like, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I just found out what this is now. Whatever this is.
Clock that
What
T.
they
Clock
said
that. Period.
yeah. So for me, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's my safe places. And so for
Mm.
me, what's therapeutic for me in this season of my life, it's my babies, man. Like I mean this, man. I like my son Miles, who's 8. He'll be 9 in December in a couple of weeks.
Mhm.
Like it's just being around them and smiling.
Yeah.
Being out on the field with Mason, watching them. That's what my therapy is, and having a circle that kind of allows me to release. And here's what's crazy. I had the boys take the trash out the other day, right? So I get home and the can's still out. So I pull the cans in. I'm doing all that fussing. And I look inside the can. And I don't know if you've ever looked inside your trash can. It is filthy.
Yeah, it's dirty.
But here's the crazy part, Angel. I had all the trash we throw in there are in bags.
Yeah.
So you ask yourself, how is the can dirty when everything that put in it was already covered? And it's because it's impossible to deal with all that trash and some of it not seep through.
Mm.
And so when you got friends dumping on you and everybody bring you the tea and you're going through your own trials and your own frustrations, I had to find a way to rinse. And here's the funny part. I did not plan to have a music career.
Really?
I was pastoring. I was in Birmingham, Alabama. I love my church.
Yeah.
And a therapist kind of asked me a question, how do you rinse? I said, what that mean? They said, well, every Sunday people dump on you. What you do with it?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I just go home. It was like, find something to do. I said, what you like to do? I said, I like music. I went and found me a little home studio thing and put it in my basement and just started recording all these songs and never really thought the world would listen to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's always being therapeutic to be around people I love and being in purpose and doing what God called me to do.
This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. It's the holiday season and the best time of year for sports. We got bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, and it's happening all at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right. Prize Picks, baby.
You're so right, Angel. So many Prize Picks options this time of year. I'm a big Miami sports girl, but I still got my eye on Jimmy Butler out west. Him and Steph are hooping. New feature alert, Prize Picks now has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. On Prize Picks, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose Flex Play, where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. And if you want the biggest payouts, go for the Power Play. No matter your play, Prize Picks is a great way to put your takes to the test. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code ANGEL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code ANGEL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
This episode is sponsored by JCPenney.
Look, let's be honest, some of us are last minute shoppers. I know I am.
I am so guilty of last minute shopping. And you know what? I know some of y'all are last minute shoppers too, and I'm not judging. Like I've said, I've been there before. December 22nd, like, oh no, I forgot auntie.
Better than forgetting your boyfriend, am I right?
Here's what I know and how I can help with these last minute shoppers. When the pressure's on, girl, I perform.
Oh, Angel. Girl, we knew that. You are that girl under pressure leading the team to victory.
Performing under pressure on and off the court, that's why I keep JCPenney in my back pocket. Because even in a time crunch, I can come through with the gifts that make people go like, oh, you nailed that.
We're talking last minute, on sale, wow-worthy gifts.
Fragrance? Got it.
Jewelry, sparkly, and still on budget. Got it.
Sneakers? Shout out to Reebok, of course I got them. And they have the cutest pajamas my mom would just love. Don't sleep. You can absolutely pull off the holiday miracle even if you're sliding under the wire like you got 3 seconds left for the buzzer beater victory.
Just hit up jcpenney.com and let the deals do the heavy lifting.
They'll never know you waited, but they will definitely remember the gift. Shop JCPenney. Yes, JCPenney.
This has been a Playmaker production.